What's up, guys? How you doing? So what I quickly wanted to do is show you guys real quick a calculation on how to get to 100%. I know previously I made a video in regards to calculating your ratings, the percentages that you get, for different service conditions or connections, and then how would you rate your total ratings. I know. So I also made another video in regards to increasing your rating to 100% and how to go about that. Where you claim everything that you're hurt for. Anything such as shin splint, tinnitus, hearing loss. They might be small percentages, but it will help you out in the long run. And then the other one I stated, there was another one that I had previously, another video in regards to, staying on the long run, fighting for the percentage that you so rightfully deserve for whatever specific service connection that you have. And one of those service connections can be is that, let's say you get a 50% on a PTSD and you deserve a 70. If you continue working on it and just put in the increase down the road, you can end up getting the 70%. And again, it's all about how you word yourself. But before we continue and I show you this brief explanation on the first and second scenario, I want you to do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit also the notification and alert buttons, and then comment and like. And if you have any questions that you wish to keep in private, just hit me up at CombatVetVlogger@gmail.com. So let's begin. So this is the way I'm gonna start it off. This is from a veteran that is very close to me, and these are conditions that that this person has. The reason why I'm starting off with PTSD, because PTSD can go as high as 100%. So this one still has room to grow. Migraines stops at 50%. That is the highest that you can go with migraines. So because PTSD has room to grow, it eventually would be the highest rating that you can start off with. So 50%, you get a 50% rating. You would have 50% left over to reach 100%. But you have a 50% of migraines. You will multiply that second 50% to that 50% that's left over for 100, and you end up getting 25. That 25 points, you add it to the 50% that you originally got for PTSD, and it will give you a 75. That 75 gets rounded up to 80% total rating. But because you have more server connection, you don't have a complete new total. But so that 75, now that 75 would leave you at, give you the 80%, would leave you with 20% left over to reach 100. Let's say you have a shoulder condition, and because the shoulder condition gets rated bilateral for dominant and non-dominant, the way this would work is, let's say you end up getting a 30% for dominant, you multiply by that 20% that's left over to reach 100, you get 6 points. Add that to the 75, it will give you 81. You get 20% for the non-dominant, you multiply by the 20 that's left over. Because you're still at 81, you're under that 85 threshold, you won't move on up. So you get 4 points, you add that 4 points to the 81, now you had hit the 85, you move up to 90%. 90%, which would be the new total. You have 10% left over to reach 100. Let's say you have hip problems, and this, the way it would get rated, you get 20% for your left, 20% for your right. That 20% times 10 gives you 2 points, gets added to the 85, will give you 87. Same thing with the right hip. You multiply to the 10, get 2 points, add that to 87, it will give you 89. Now 10 times 10 gives you 1, you add that to the 90, it will give you still 10% left. In order for that person to get 5 more points, they would need these service connections, or maybe something lower, or one that will give you 50%. That we could probably work in here, and you will probably be able to reach that 100%, that 95 at least, to round you up to 100%. But you still need a little bit more legwork right here, So don't be discouraged. You can get service connected for a lot of them, but it's just on how you decide to, go about it. If you quit going to appointments, let's say you are just working on this, but you quit doing PTSD, that's what you're stuck with. And it would be harder for you to get to 70% if that's what you're rated for, 70%. But let's see another scenario, the second scenario over here. Let's say you end up getting rated 70%, or you continue working on the 50%. Let's say 50% is not what you are deserved, but you end up continue going to appointments and you put in for an increase and they give you 70%. 70% is their new total rating. 50% times the 30 that's left over to reach 100 would give you 15. You add that to the 70 would give you 85. 30%, because you have 85, you get your new one rating is 90%. So 10% that's left over to reach 100, you multiply that by the 30%, it will give you 3 points. That 3 points, you add that to 85 and it will give you 88. Now, because 88, now you have 20% here. That 20%, you add that to multiply it to the 10%. You add those 2 points to the 88, will give you 90. Same thing for these two. So 90 push you up to 92 on the next one, 94 on the last one, on the last 20%. Now you're at 94. The skin condition is 10%. You multiply that by the last 10 to the 10% that's left over for 100. You add it to the 94, it will give you 95. Now, because you're at 95, you just end up getting rounded up to 100%, and you would reach 100% a lot easier than this person that has 3 more service connections. Listen, if you rate 50% and you don't have the conditions or meet the symptoms to reach the 70%, that's all cool. That's fine and dandy. Don't give up on it. Just continue working on these 3. You don't have to do all of them at the same time. You have all the time in the world, and you can work on just one at a time. So you can work on PTSD, and once you're done, going to the appointments, you can do once a month PTSD, and then start working on your migraines. Start getting seen, get the diagnosis, get everything done. And once you get that rating, then you start working on your shoulder, and then you start complaining about the shoulder. Don't forget, complaining about the other ones, but you start getting seen by the shoulder and continue complaining about these. Once you get seen and get your rating and get the rating that you deserve for the symptoms that you have, then you can move on to the left hip, to the hip total. And then you get rated for the hips, left and right. Then after that, once you get rating and these are the symptoms that you get or deserve the rating for, then you move on to skin, hearing loss, shin splints, tinnitus. Continue on the way that this would work, or you work on them all at the same time, or you just work on what you already have. But my point is that there's so many ways to reach 100%, and there are so many 100%s out there. There's the 100% scheduler rating, where you can continue working, having a full-time job, high income, have a business, do whatever you want. Or do the 100% permanent total, where you can still continue working, still have a business, have a high income, whatever. If for the next reason, let's say you are 100% permanent total and you have static conditions, all of the static conditions is a little different from permanent total, but it just means that you never have to go to, those ratings will stay the same. It won't move. If you have a 100% permanent total, IU, which is individual unemployability, you can't continue working. You just stay with whatever you have. And then the last one, the last two is 100% temporary, where after surgery, you would get 100% until you are deemed that you are fit and that service connections drops down to 0, but you will still be service connected for it. And that can be cancer, foot surgery, or whatever it is. And then the last one is TDIU, where you can't reach 100%, but you get paid like you're 100%. And that all depends on the condition, depending on if you are unable to continue working and stuff like that. So this is a way to get to 100%, and I just wanted to be able to explain it to you guys and show you guys, that there are different ways. Think outside of the box, see what would be able to help you out, and going to appointments will help you get there. All right. If you have any questions, want to talk about it privately, just hit me up at CombatVetVlogger@gmail.com. Vlogger with a V. That's Victor. Have a good day, guys. All right. Bye-bye.